October is over, and here's a quick recap of everything that happened. The month began with Sushma Swaraj and Narendra Modi at the UN General Assembly, making strong bids for permanent membership in the Security Council. Closer to home, the trade blockade between India and Nepal put a big strain on diplomatic relations. But even though Nepal is turning away from India, there is hope that their newly elected Prime Minister and President will help ease the hostility. In other parts of the neighborhood, India held long overdue diplomatic talks with the Maldives. And while Indo-Pak relations were a little sour in the beginning, things became friendlier towards the end as both nations joined hands to bring back Geeta, the deaf and mute Indian girl in Pakistan. Prime Minister Modi formed partnerships in a number of sectors with the German Chancellor, while President Pranab Mukherjee visited Jordan, Israel, and Palestine to discuss issues of trade and regional security. And finally, on the diplomatic front, India hosted the third India-Africa Forum Summit, strengthening ties between two of the world's fastest growing regions. On the political front, the elections in Bihar took center stage. Politicians campaigned aggressively as the first three phases of polling took place. Voters were angry as dal became exorbitant, but measures to bring these prices down didn't work as well as we hoped it would. October was a big month for policy. The Supreme Court dismissed the government's suggestion of an NJAS system for appointing judges, opting instead to stick with a revised version of the old collegium system. The Supreme Court took up the Aadhaar card matter, first deciding to limit its use, but later extending it to include more schemes. And they also spent the month wondering if the Uniform Civil Code would ever get the legislative backing it needs to bring justice to the people. To top it all, the government collected an underwhelming 4,147 crores on the first black money deadline, after which they announced that strict action would be taken against those who did not declare their assets. Unfortunately, this month saw immense internal unrest. After the Dadri lynching incident, similar incidents took place in other parts of the country. Writers began returning their Sahitya Akademi awards in protest, and filmmakers and historians quickly followed suit. In Punjab, several instances of sacrilege were reported, causing the Sikh population to unite in violent protest. In Haryana, a long-standing feud led to an attack on a Dalit household, killing 2 children. Amidst this atmosphere of intolerance, the Shiv Sena opposed the presence of various Pakistani personalities in India. Their party workers inked the face of Sudhindra Kulkarni, while in Kashmir, Sheikh Abdul Rashid was also inked by Hindu Sena for hosting a beef party. In terms of sports, despite putting up a tough fight, India lost both cricket series it played against South Africa. We also lost 2 invaluable players as Zaheer Khan and Virender Sehwag announced their retirement from international cricket. On the environment front, India is getting ready for the Paris Climate Change Summit in November. We sent an action plan to the UN climate body proposing to cut down carbon emissions, and a climate train was inaugurated this month to travel across the country, raising awareness on greenhouse gas emissions and global warming. And finally, we'll end this review on a positive note. This month, we celebrated 10 years since India enacted the right to information. And according to a World Bank report, we're ranking even higher in terms of business environment. Let's hope all this good news spills over to November.